what I've noticed this year is that my heat intolerance seems to be better than it has been. That beach montage, I guess. So what had happened was I brought a camera, obviously, to the beach, and I intended to just make a vlog of it, but you may have noticed in the video I'm de-accessed because I intended to actually try and go swimming. I'm not great at swimming. Judd says I don't know how to swim. I think I do, I'm just not great. But anyways, it's not like the water was deep. I was actually gonna go in the water and such, yeah. The water was actually pretty cold, so that didn't happen, but anyways, because I was gonna be like in the water and stuff, I didn't want to bring my nice vlogging camera, my Canon G7X Mark II, to the beach because it's not waterproof and sand can be really bad for cameras, so I just didn't want to risk it. So I brought our backup camera, which is another like Canon PowerShot. Video quality was good, but there was a lot of wind on the beach and yeah, you cannot hear us like at all. So the whole topic of this video was that I did really well at the beach and I really think my heat intolerance is improving, and I talked about it there, but like I said, you can't hear me. So I salvaged some fun clips so you can see us having fun, especially Harlow. I think one of her favorite things to do is like just go swim in the water. But anyways, y'all saw us having fun, and now I can talk to you about what that beach trip kind of enlightened me to. Does that make sense how I said that? Because of that beach trip, I kind of realized something that makes a lot more sense, and now I'm going to talk to y'all about it. So in probably several of my videos, you may notice me say something like heat intolerance or heat sensitivity, or oh, it was cool enough for me. And you may be wondering, okay, Jackie, what the heck does that mean? Or you may not have even noticed it. If you are a fellow POTSy, I'm sure you can understand. So I have something called POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It is a form of dysautonomia, which means autonomic dysfunction. And one of the symptoms of that is heat intolerance, meaning our bodies find it hard to regulate temperature, and the heat can be very hard for us to handle. And for a lot of people with dysautonomia, the heat can actually be a big trigger for flare-ups and symptoms, and just really hard for us to handle hot temperatures. If you want to learn more about dysautonomia, the form of dysautonomia I have, my POTS, and specifically the mechanism behind why we have heat intolerance, check out my dysautonomia video. But for the sake of this video, all you need to know is I have dysautonomia. One of my symptoms is heat intolerance. And of course, you know, chronic illness affects everybody differently, but this is a pretty common problem among people with POTS and dysautonomia variations. So anyways, it can be kind of tricky to deal with living in Florida. It's not a huge hindrance. Like during the summer months when the temperatures are higher, my POTS is definitely more symptomatic, more problematic. But you know, we have air conditioning, and if I wanted to do something outside, I just have to wait till nighttime. But I've started to notice this year. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got really distracted by this one strand of hair like sticking straight out. It's like really distracting to me. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Anyways, what I've been noticing, moving on. What I've noticed this year is that my heat intolerance seems to be better than it has been. So that day at the beach, it was a few days ago, the weather was around 79, 80, and there was a breeze on the beach, and the water was pretty nippy. So keeping my feet in the water definitely helped me regulate my temperature and such. I actually ended up with leg cramps because the cold water on my feet. But anyways, I did better than I thought I would. And then a few weeks ago, I actually went to the beach with some friends from my church, and the weather was in the mid 80s, y'all. I was actually concerned I was gonna have some issues with the heat, but thankfully where we go when we go to the beach, it's on the causeway. And why we always go there is because Harlow can just be in playful dog mode because it's a dog-friendly beach. Whereas if we went to a beach that is not dog friendly, she would have to stay in working mode, and y'all saw how much she loves to swim. I just don't feel it's fair. So we just go to the causeway. The other plus though is that the car is literally like right there, a few feet away. So if I really needed to, I could just get in the car and turn on the AC and cool down. But even though, like I said, a few weeks ago, I went to the causeway with some church friends and it was in the mid 80s, I did really well. I lasted a while. I was a little symptomatic with my POTS, but I didn't faint. The heat is like the biggest trigger for my fainting for sure. And my heart rate didn't get too tachycardic. Harlow didn't even need to alert at all while I was at the beach, not this past time with Judd or when I went with my church friends. And like I said, the weather was in the low to mid 80s. And last year, that would have been too much for my dysautonomia to handle. Typically, I really couldn't be outside if it was higher than 78 degrees. But this year I've been faring much better. Now you may be wondering why. I don't think we'll ever have a exact confirmed answer, but I do have a theory, as does my immunologist and my neurologist and my geneticist. Like my doctors agree with this theory of mine. So as y'all may know, chronic illnesses can definitely be interconnected and affect each other. My mast cell disease definitely affects my dysautonomia. When my mast cell is more problematic, so is my POTS. And if you remember, last year was really difficult with my mast cell disease. I had like about 100 days inpatient because of my mast cell and other factors too. But last year my mast cell disease was way more uncontrollable. This year, we've made a lot of progress in my treatments and I'm doing much better. And since my mast cell has improved, my dysautonomia has as well to a certain degree. And because of that, I feel like I'm tolerating the hot weather better. Now, of course, we're only in April and the true test will be this summer. You know, Florida summers are brutal with heat and humidity, but thus far, I really do feel my heat intolerance improving, which is something I have really worked and hoped and prayed for quite a while. Because although, you know, I'm okay and, you know, we have AC and stuff, like just in the summer, just like getting to the car or walking from the car into a store, or like, you know, we're restricted to only going to Disney at night as opposed to whatever hours of the day. And, you know, I can't really eat outside and enjoy the views and stuff because it's too hot. And during the summer months, you know, my POTS does act up because the temperature is higher, but I mean, it's manageable. It's just nice to know that this symptom is improving because my health, like as a whole and in other areas, is improving as well. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I know some people are very heat sensitive, and don't get me wrong, if I'm in a dysautonomia flare, I'm also very heat sensitive, but I really didn't ever consider this would improve like it's been doing. It's going on a good trend where my heat intolerance is getting less sensitive. And so I just wanted to let y'all know there's hope. You know, whatever symptom it is you may be struggling with to make progress with, there's hope. And I'm just excited to see how the summer goes with my heat issues and just how I continue to progress with my health. So that is the exciting news I had to share with y'all. And with that, I will say goodbye. And thanks for joining us on our adventure.